The statistic is brutal, but it is accurate. 99 out of every 100 people who set out to build something significant will eventually fail. They don't fail because they lack intelligence. They don't fail because the market is too crowded. They fail because when the excitement fades and the real work begins, they fold. They get distracted by shiny objects. They burn out when the results don't come fast enough. They surrender to the quiet voice of doubt in their heads. But then, there is that one person. The outlier. The anomaly. The one who looks at the same obstacles and sees stepping stones. The one who bends the odds in their favor through sheer force of will. Today, we are going to dissect the anatomy of that top 1%. We are going to strip away the luck and the privilege and look at the raw mechanics of why most people stay stuck in mediocrity while a select few rise to become legends. These are the 10 lessons that separate the dreamers from the achievers. Welcome to the blueprint for the 1%. Lesson 1. The trap of the hollow why. Most people start a business or a project because they want to make money. And let me be clear, there is nothing wrong with making money. But if money is your only fuel, your engine is going to die the moment the road gets steep. Money is a result, not a reason. When the late nights come, when the bank account is draining, when the customers aren't buying, the desire for a Lamborghini isn't going to keep you awake at 2 a.m. working on code. You need a why that is deeper than your wallet. Look at Jeff Bezos. When he launched Amazon in 1994, he wasn't a desperate man looking for a quick buck. He had a high-paying, comfortable job on Wall Street. He had status. He had security. But he read a statistic that changed everything. Internet usage was growing at 2,300% a year. That number haunted him. He realized he was standing on the edge of a revolution. His why wasn't "I want to be rich." His why was the terrifying fear of regret. He famously said he knew he wouldn't regret trying and failing, but he would absolutely regret not participating in the internet boom. That clarity, that specific, burning desire to be part of history, is what allowed him to endure years of unprofitability. While Wall Street mocked Amazon as Amazon.bomb, Bezos kept building. He wasn't chasing a paycheck, he was chasing a vision. Action step: you need to stop right now and interrogate yourself. Why are you doing this? If you can't write it down in one sentence, and if that sentence doesn't make you feel something in your gut, you are already losing. Write your why on a piece of paper. Tape it to your bathroom mirror. Read it every morning. When the world tries to break you, that piece of paper is your shield. Lesson 2. The disease of diluted focus. There is a myth that successful people are great multitasks. The truth is the exact opposite. The 1% are monomaniacal. They are obsessed with one thing until it works. The 99% fail because they try to boil the ocean. They start a YouTube channel, and a dropshipping store, and a consulting agency, and they try to learn day trading, all in the same month. They spread their energy so thin that they make zero impact in any direction. Focus builds empires, distraction destroys them. Let's look at the titans of tech. Larry Page and Sergey Brin started Google in a garage with one obsession: search. They didn't try to build an email service, or a map app, or a mobile operating system in year one. They spent every waking hour solving the problem of organizing the world's information. Because they focused all their energy on that single point, they became the best in the world at it. Once they owned search, then they expanded. Contrast that with the entrepreneur who chases 5 rabbits at once and catches none. They end up exhausted, broke, and confused about why they aren't winning. The sun provides enough energy to warm the earth, but a laser, which is just focused light, can cut through steel. Be the laser. Action step: audit your life. What are the 3 things you are trying to build? Pick the one that has the highest potential and pause the other 2. Pour 100% of your energy into that one vehicle for the next 6 months. Lesson 3. The paralysis of perfection. The 99% wait. They wait for the perfect economy. They wait for the perfect funding. They wait until their product is flawless. They wait until they feel ready. But here is the secret: the 1% know. You will never feel ready. Ready is a lie. The right time never comes, you have to drag it into existence. Winners launch messy. They launch ugly. They launch incomplete. And then they fix it on the fly. Daymond John, the founder of the fashion brand Fubu, is the perfect example of this. He didn't have venture capital. He didn't have a factory in China. He didn't have distribution deals. He had a sewing machine in his mother's house in Queens. He hand-stitched hats himself. He went out to the street corners and sold them for cash. He made $800 in a single day, and that small proof of concept gave him the confidence to keep going. He didn't wait for a marketing budget, He begged and pleaded until LL Cool J wore a FUBU hat in a Gap commercial for free. If Damon John had waited until everything was perfect, FUBU would never have existed. He started with what he had, where he was. Action step: identify the one thing you have been delaying because it's not ready yet. Launch it today. Post the bad video. Publish the unpolished blog post. Sell the prototype. Momentum is more valuable than perfection. Lesson 4: the inability to sell. You can have the greatest product in the history of mankind, but if you cannot communicate its value to another human being, you will fail. Sales is not a dirty word. Sales is oxygen. Without it, your business suffocates and dies. The 99% think that if I build it, they will come. The 1% know that if I build it, I must go out and drag them in. Steve Jobs is often remembered as a visionary inventor, but his true genius was salesmanship. In 1977, when he stood in front of investors with the Apple II, he wasn't selling them a box of wires and chips. He was selling them a revolution. He was painting a picture of a future where every household had a computer, where the human mind was amplified by technology. Investors didn't write checks for the circuit board, they wrote checks for the story Steve Jobs told. There were thousands of engineers in Silicon Valley who were technically smarter than Jobs, but they failed because they couldn't sell their vision. They couldn't transfer their belief to others. Action step: stop hiding behind your laptop. You need to practice the art of persuasion daily. Pitch your idea to a stranger. Record yourself explaining your product and watch it back. If you can't sell your own mother on your dream, you aren't ready for the market. Get comfortable with rejection, because every no brings you closer to the skills you need for a yes. Lesson 5: the fear of failure as an endpoint. For the 99%, failure is a stop sign. It signals that they aren't good enough, that the idea was bad, that they should pack up and go home. For the 1%, failure is simply data. It is feedback from reality. It is a stepping stone, not a tombstone. They understand that to succeed twice as fast, you must double your rate of failure. Consider James Dyson. We see the sleek, expensive vacuums in stores today, but we don't see the 15 years of agony that preceded them. Dyson built 5,126 prototypes. That means he failed 5,126 times. He burned through his savings. His friends told him to get a real job. The banks turned him down. But Dyson didn't look at prototype number 2000 as a failure. He looked at it as a lesson. He asked, why did this clog? Why did this lose suction? He tweaked, he adjusted, and he tried again. His 5,127th prototype changed the industry forever. Imagine if he had stopped at 5,000. He would have been a failure. Because he kept going, he became a legend. Action step: reframe your relationship with failure. When something goes wrong, do not say, I failed. Say, this didn't work. What did I learn? Extract the lesson, adjust your strategy, and move immediately to the next attempt. Lesson 6: chasing numbers instead of relationships. In the age of social media, everyone is obsessed with metrics. The 99% want 1 million followers, 1 million likes, 1 million views. They scream into the void, hoping to go viral. But business is not built on algorithms, it is built on handshakes, virtual or physical. It is built on trust. One meaningful relationship with a key player is worth more than 10,000 passive followers who don't care about you. There is a story of a young entrepreneur who wanted to get Mark Cuban's attention. He didn't spam Cuban's comment section. He didn't try to get 1 million likes. He researched one of the companies Cuban had invested in, found a problem they were having, and emailed Cuban a specific, thoughtful solution. He offered value first. Cuban replied. That email led to a conversation, which led to mentorship. While thousands of people were begging for attention, this person earned it by being useful. The 1% build deep, narrow networks of high-value people. Action step: stop trying to be famous and start trying to be helpful. Reach out to one person in your industry every single day, not to ask for a favor, but to offer a compliment, a resource, or an idea. Build a relationship before you need it. Lesson 7: the 3-foot surrender. Napoleon Hill, in his famous book Think and Grow Rich, tells the story of the man who dug for gold, found a vein, and then when it disappeared, he quit. He sold his machinery to a junkman. The junkman hired an engineer, checked the fault lines, and found that the gold was literally 3 feet from where the first man had stopped digging. The 99% give up when the resistance is highest, which is usually right before the breakthrough. Colonel Sanders is the patron saint of persistence. At 65 years old, Broke and living off a tiny social security check, he tried to franchise his fried chicken recipe. He drove across the country, sleeping in his car, cooking chicken for restaurant owners. He heard the word no over 1,000 times. 1,009 times to be exact. Can you imagine the humiliation? The fatigue? Most people would have quit after the 10th rejection. Sanders kept knocking. The 1,010th person said yes. That single yes birthed the KFC empire. The only difference between Sanders and a crazy old man with a chicken recipe was that Sanders refused to go home. Action step: commit to a timeline that makes quitting impossible. Tell yourself, I will not judge the results of this project for 12 months. Give your seeds time to grow. If you dig them up every day to check the roots, the plant will die. Lesson 8, Financial Illiteracy. You can make $1 million, but if you spend $1,000,001, you are broke. The 99% focus entirely on earning money and 0% on keeping and growing it. They view money as something to spend on lifestyle, cars, clothes, dinners, to prove to others that they made it. The 1% view money as a tool. They view it as soldiers they can deploy to capture more territory. Look at the world of professional sports. Mike Tyson earned over $300 million in his boxing career. He was an absolute titan. Yet, within a few years of retiring, he filed for bankruptcy. How is that possible? Because he didn't respect the money. He bought tigers, mansions, and jewelry, but he didn't buy assets. Contrast that with LeBron James. LeBron earns massive checks, but he lives below his means relative to his income and pours millions into businesses, franchises, and production companies. He understands that wealth is not what you make, it is what you keep. Action step: become the CFO of your own life. Track every single dollar that leaves your pocket. Before you buy the liability, the thing that costs money, buy the asset, the thing that makes money. If your business makes profit, reinvest it back into the business, not into your wardrobe. Lesson 9, the arrogance of stagnation. The moment you think you know enough is the moment you start to die. The business world moves at the speed of light. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. The 99% learn a skill, get a job or start a business, and then stop studying. They stagnate. The 1% remain eternal students. They are terrified of being obsolete. Warren Buffett is one of the richest men to ever walk the earth. He is in his 90s. He has accomplished everything. Yet, he still spends 80% of his day reading. He reads financial reports, newspapers, books, and journals. He consumes 500 pages a day. He calls knowledge compound interest. He knows that one piece of new information could be the key to avoiding a disaster or seizing a massive opportunity. Look at Kodak. They invented the digital camera, but the executives stopped learning. They were arrogant. They thought film would last forever. They ignored the future, and the future erased them. Action step: you need a curriculum for your life. Schedule 1 hour every single day for deliberate learning. Read a book, listen to a podcast, take a course. Feed your mind with the same discipline that an athlete feeds their body. Lesson 10, the failure to bet on yourself. Ultimately, the biggest reason the 99% fail is that they are waiting for someone else to save them. They are waiting to be discovered. They are waiting for a boss to give them a raise, or an investor to write a check, or a publisher to pick up their book. The 1% know that no one is coming. They understand that if they want to cross the river, they have to build the bridge themselves. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job as a news anchor in Baltimore because she was told she was too emotional and unfit for television. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, applied to Harvard 10 times and was rejected 10 times. He applied to work at KFC with 24 other people, 23 were hired, and he was the only rejection. These people had every reason to believe they were worthless. The world told them no. But they had an internal conviction that was louder than the external rejection. They pushed all their chips into the center of the table and bet on themselves. Action step: stop looking for external validation. It is a drug that will kill your dreams. Do one bold thing this week that proves you trust your own vision. Launch the product. Send the pitch. Quit the bad habit. Be your own savior.